we got Alabama versus the Dukies. Yeah. Woo-wee! Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, hope all of you having a great Friday. Hope all of you having a great start to your weekend. If not, hope this video can make it a little bit better. Man, oh man, I know why you're here. You know why we're here. We're here to talk about the Alabama. That wasn't my best Alabama ever, but you get the point. We're going to talk about the Alabama and the Duke game, and also Florida and Texas Tech. Clap it up. Clap it up to all the teams tonight. Not just Duke and, Florida. I was drawing a blank there for winning the game. By the way, how in the world did Texas Tech blow one? We're going to talk all about it. The Dukies, they stomp Alabama. There's all we got to talk about, and I know a bunch of y'all expected me to be all gloomy doom that my favorite team, Alabama, lost. However, I'm going to remind you, I told you guys past couple of weeks when I filled out my original bracket. I got this perfect, by the way. Oh, yeah. I know I'm all over the place, but take a look at this. 90.7%. Not bad if I got to say so myself. And it should be 100% if Arkansas didn't screw me over. I know we've talked about that a lot the past couple of videos. I still can't get over the fact that Arkansas blew a 13-point lead with 4 minutes to go. Can't get over that. And also that jump ball, that wasn't a jump ball when they were up by 6. I digress. I'm not going to go in there Arkansas rant. I've done that enough. Like I was saying, 90.7% bracket. I told you guys yesterday, Alabama, they match up terrible with Duke. Not just yesterday, weeks leading up to this game. I got the Dukies winning. Y'all know Alabama's my team. I was rooting for Alabama. They lost. Duke wins. Clap it up to them. Nice little, and not a big clap. We'll do a nice little golf clap. We'll get to that game when we get to it. A little foreshadowing. We're going to start with our first game here. The Florida Gators. As you can see, they advanced to the Final Four. You got to clap it up. Give credit where credit is due. Where's the game? Oh, here's the game down here in the bottom left. So we got the Texas Tech Raiders versus Florida. I know we only have 2 games to talk about tonight, but this might be a 25, 30-minute video. Yeah, I also do apologize if this video is going up extremely late. The game's in around 10:30-ish. And I'm going to try to make this video. Well, I am making it right after the Alabama game. But it takes forever to render on their computer. And your boy Matt is extremely tired. So normally what happens is I fall asleep while it's rendering in my chair in the office. So, yeah. Sorry, I'm not sorry. It is what it is. I don't plan to fall asleep, but it happens. Your boy's working overtime in the MBG sweatshop to get these videos up. That's why you see them uploaded at random times like 2, 3, 4 a.m. Just want to give you some context and explain that. Getting back on track here with this Florida and Texas Tech game. I thought it was over. For starters, I didn't think Texas Tech had that great of a shot. I was like, yeah, give me Florida by double digits. I didn't think they matched up with them well. I think Florida is the best team in the nation. Outside of Cooper Flagg, they have the second best player in the nation, Walter Clayton Jr. People have called me crazy all year long when I've stated Walter Clayton Jr. is a top 2 or 3 player in the nation. Don't know why. He proved it yet again tonight that he is, at least in my humble opinion. But fast forward in time into the second half. We'll pull up the box score. Hey, why not? Give y'all something to look at, maybe. Yeah. Clayton Jr. 30 burger. Did you know? Oh, man. He only shot it 14 times. It felt like he was shooting it a little bit more. Florida shot 44% from the field. 38% from the three-point line. 12 turnovers. Still not good there, and that's not like them. Texas Tech only had 7. That's great. Out-rebounded them. It was a back-and-forth game. If you're a Red Raiders fan, you got to be sick to your stomach. However, this is the law of averages, right? In your most recent matchup against Arkansas, what happened? You had one of the craziest comebacks in NCAA history. In the next game, it's flip-flopped. You give up one of the craziest comebacks in NCAA tournament history. Walter Clayton Jr. goes off. He starts spraying threes. To me, this felt like your stereotypical game that a lot of your national champions are going to have. Didn't have their A game. Shots weren't falling. But at the end of the game, when they needed it the most, their clutch players came up clutch. When Florida cut it to 3 and Walton Clayton Jr. had the ball just dribbling around like a chicken with its head cut off, I knew it was taking a 2-pointer. He wanted to tie the game up, and he did just that. I don't have too much more to say about this game, guys. It was great. And if I can keep things short and simple and sweet, that's what I strive to do on this channel. Going on back here to the game of the night for me, because I am an Alabama fan, we got Alabama versus the Dukies. Yeah. Not shaking my head, not shaking my head. It's not even a weird feeling. And I'm going to be, well, I always am this way. Transparent, raw with you guys, 100% honest. This is the best I've felt as a Bama fan, maybe in the history of my lifetime, after a 20-point loss. After a 20-burger, whatever you want to call it. I feel great. You know why I feel great? We were playing with house money. Getting to the Elite Eight didn't exceed expectations, but we met them. That was really good for this team. Technically, going up a seeding, yeah, you did your job. You get to the Elite Eight as a 2 seed, and from that point on, you're not the favorite. You're playing the 1 seed. Some would argue and say that Duke is the best team in the tournament remaining. Let me know in the comment section how you feel about that. It's close. My top 2 teams, without a shadow of a doubt, Florida and Duke. I guess I'm still going to give Florida the edge, but after watching what Duke did to Alabama and what they've done this entire tournament, it's hard to say it's not Duke, because Florida's kind of struggled in this tournament just a little bit, but maybe they'll pick up the slack. If they play tomorrow, though, and it's why I'm second-guessing myself, I think I may take Duke. Gosh. I don't even get to start on that. I don't want to talk about it too much. The point is, we can all agree with this. Duke is one of the best teams in the nation. They're not top 4. They're not top 3. They're top 2. In whatever order you want to put them in. You want to put them at 2 or 1? Either one's fine with me. The Dukies. All right, let's start with this. I told you the BYJs, shout out to the BYJs, match up terrible at Alabama. Alabama, they're going to steamroll them. That's what happened. Fast forward time to the Dookie game. Love Alabama, but I'm an analyst first. I pride myself in that, whether y'all think that or not. I know we got a lot of trolls, but seriously, I take great pride in being an analyst first. Alabama fan second. That's what I do. I got the Dukies. They're just a much better team than Alabama from top to bottom. I didn't think it was close. Give me Duke all day long. If they play 10 times, I'm taking Duke every single time. If they play 100 times, I'm taking Duke over Alabama 100 times. It's not even debatable for me. They're just much better. I've watched all of Duke's games this year. I've watched all of Alabama's. Alabama is not even near. It's not even like they're close. No, they're not even near Duke's level. I know Alabama fans aren't going to like that, but it's reality. For the people that don't know ball and you want to know more, let me elaborate more and explain to you why I knew, not trying to pat myself on the back, I just trying to explain things, why I knew Duke was a terrible matchup for Alabama. And that's all basketball and football is. It's matchups. Alabama, when you look at the history of Nate Oates' teams the past couple of years, they struggled the most with long and lanky teams. And to give Nate Oates' teams the benefit of the doubt, most college basketball teams struggle with long, lanky, and athletic teams. But Duke is on their level in that aspect. Basketball is one of the most unfair sports out there. It is the only sport where you're going to take a 6'7" athletic guy who's not very skilled over a 5'9", 5'10" guy who's extremely skilled at his position, but he's not as athletic and he's not as tall as a 6'7" guy. If you currently play basketball, maybe you already know this, but maturing is understanding and realizing being a great basketball player has a lot to do with, like I said, and I just can't harp on this enough, being tall and athletic. The taller a player is, whether it's a point guard, shooting guard, small forward, power forward, or center, it's going to make the team that much better without him even doing anything. I'll give you a great example in this Duke-Alabama game. Duke's center, who's 7'2", Malawatch, he was affecting everything. Alabama had layups. He wasn't even blocking them, But since Alabama knew he's 7'2", they were having to shoot him higher. It's little things like that I pay attention to. When people talk about this Duke and Alabama game tomorrow morning, or maybe it is tomorrow morning when you're watching this video, they're going to talk about Cooper Flagg, Knipple, some other guards out there. Maybe they talk about Tyrese Proctor. But one of the best players for Duke in this game was MattBeGreat's. He affected the game on offense, defense, so much more than I'd even say Cooper Flagg. Don't get it twisted. I love Cooper Flagg. I can rant and rave on him for an hour alone. He's the best player in the nation. But Alabama had him in check, and he wasn't some defensive monster for Duke. He was great on defense for Duke. But MattBeGreat's, he was on their level. Outside of him, though, and let's not even talk about when Alabama got to the paint, let's talk about Alabama on the perimeter. Did you notice against the BYUs, Alabama shooting all these open threes, the offense is flowing, it's silky smooth? Against Duke, what it looked like? It looked like rough sandpaper out there. No rhythm, no flow, none of that. But why is that? Great question, my friend. I'll let it answer it. Because Duke's length affected Alabama more than you think. And I'm not talking about their length on the centers. I'm talking about on their guards. I believe Duke's shortest player, could be wrong on this, I saw something like he's 6'5", 6'6". I know their shortest starter was 6'6", and that was James, one of their senior guards. I want you to think about this, their point guard, Tyrese Proctor, 6'6". You know Knipple, the white dude? Not Cooper Flagg, but Knipple. 6'7". Then Cooper Flagg, what is he? Is he 6'9", 6'10"? Something like that. Duke's length affected Alabama so much. It's relatively simple, guys. The taller you are means the lankier you are. And when you're lankier, you can cover more of the court or more of somebody. In Alabama, they just couldn't get open. I know basketball can be complicated, but this is why you got your boy Matt to dumb all this down for you. Let me ask you a question. Did you notice how easy it was for Duke to score from the start of the game to the finish? Just do a couple pick and rolls. When Alabama switches, and this is another thing we haven't talked about, since Alabama is a much shorter team and they for sure have much shorter guards, all Duke did was put them in pick and rolls, and when the guards switch, throw a lob to MattBeGreat's, and boom, piece of cake. It was easy for them. I hope some of y'all noticed that, whereas on the flip side for Alabama, they were struggling for every single bucket. Even some of the threes they were hitting were from dang near the volleyball line. Duke got out to that early lead, and they never looked back. I never for a split second thought Alabama was going to come back. Not once. They made some good runs, but guess what, buddy? That's because Alabama's a really good team. I knew they weren't going to roll over, lay an egg, or anything like that. Let me show you this. I tweeted out. Don't let the score fool you. Alabama played pretty good tonight. Duke is just a different animal. Congratulations to Duke. Great win and great team. Duke is going to be hard to beat. I firmly believe that. Alabama played decent tonight. You just got to understand. There was nothing to do against that Duke defense. They were suffocating. They had a game plan to stop Alabama, and they executed to perfection. Anybody that knows ball, you know that, yeah, Alabama, they couldn't have done much more. Sure, the last 6 to 8, 10 minutes of the game was awful. Mark Sears had 3 or 4 turnovers. Alabama couldn't do anything. But at that point in time, the game was over. It was over at, I'd say, the 15-minute mark in the first half. So who cares what Alabama did the last 6 to 8 minutes in the second half? They couldn't do anything. They were just trying random stuff at that point. Here's where I'm going at with this, and I'm not trying to belittle Alabama. For what Bama had, I thought they reached their full potential in this game, in the season, and everything. I think that was about the best they could do. The unfortunate part about Mark Sears, and it's why he is not an NBA player, is because he's short and he's not very athletic. It's cold, it's harsh, but guess what? The truth hurts. Mark Sears is roughly what? 6'1", 6'2"? I don't even know if he's that tall. Then you got Aiden Holloway, who, can I pull this up? Let's see if I can pull up how tall. Let's go to the game. We'll go to the box score and get this right on the dot. Box score. Phylon. Phylon is a taller guard. He's really good for Alabama. Hope he comes back. Youngblood, pretty good. Mark Sears. Let's see how tall he is. I'm curious. All right, 6'1". I knew that. Going back here. Where is he at? Okay, Aiden Holloway. What's he, 5'10"? Aiden Holloway, 6'1" too? Oh, I thought he was shorter than that. But still, way shorter than Kneppel and the Duke guards who are 6'6", 6'7". You're starting to see a trend. Alabama always struggles with teams that are bigger than them and have taller guards. I hate to make this such a short video, but there's not much more to say, guys. Duke is just better than Alabama. Period. The end. When can you have a debate when something's controversial? This game ain't nothing controversial about it. So there's nothing to sit up here and talk about. Only reason I'm talking about as much as I have is because I'm an Alabama fan and the season's officially over. I will say I am extremely proud of this team. I'm thankful for Grant Nelson, everything he's done for the program, Mark Sears, Youngblood, Clifford Amore. I believe he's a senior from Rutgers, but especially Mark Sears, one of the greatest Alabama basketball players of all time. I hate to see him go out this way. Let's pull up his final stat line or box score, whatever you want to call it. He went out sad. 2 for 12, yikes. 1 for 5 on threes. 1 for 3 from the free throw line. That's terrible for him, too. 5 turnovers. One of the worst games he ever played. I'm glad he had the BYU game. This one, not so good. But I give him the benefit of the doubt. Or not the benefit of the doubt, but I'm giving him a pass. We weren't going to beat Duke anyways, even if he went 6 for 12 or 7 for 12. Not the biggest deal. Grant Nelson, he went out decent. 10 points. 5 for 10. Phylon was arguably our best player, and as I don't want to get into this too much, but Phylon low-key is already better than Mark Sears. If you know ball, you know I'm right. There's a reason Phylon is a first-round prospect and Mark Sears isn't. That's a different conversation for a different day. Heading into some murky waters. Oh, yeah, by the way, shout out to Aiden Sherrill, backup center. Hit 2 threes in the first half. That kept us in the game for a little bit. Jaron Stevenson, I hope he comes back. I like him. He just needs to get his confidence up. Holloway, I'm sure he'll come back. He loves Alabama. Alabama should have a good team next year, but that's next year. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. Clap it up one more time for the Dukies. Fantastic team. Wishing them the best of luck. Shout out to the Duke fans. I know they got a very strong and passionate fan base. I know people hate them, but I do appreciate passionate fans. I'm not saying I'm too fond of them, but, I'm trying to give credit where credit is due. And now you got the Dukies in the Final Four in Florida. And I guess we'll talk about this a little bit. We have 2 more spots left, Houston, Tennessee. There's no line for this game. I was looking for a line. I guess I could hit preview. Is there a line for it here? No, I don't really care. Oh, wait. Oh, Houston, 3.5. Sweet. Yeah, I'll take Houston in this one. I rolled with them originally. I'll continue to roll with them. I think they're a slightly better defensive team than Tennessee, and I think they have better weapons on offense. Tennessee just has Chaz Lanier. I know they got Gainey off of the bench, but I trust LJ Crier's using the other guy who shoots all the threes for Houston a little bit more than what Tennessee has to offer. And last but not least, we got, where are they at? Oh, yeah. This is a game I'm looking forward to. Don't get me wrong, I'm looking forward to this one, but it's gonna be a low scoring, not exactly exciting basketball game. It's gonna be like 58-53, something like that. This one, however, is gonna be, it could be anywhere from 90-85 to 75-71, something like that. I can't wait to see this Auburn Tiger basketball team go up against a legend, Tom Izzo, Michigan State. In my original bracket, I had Michigan State. In this one, I have Auburn. This is my second chance bracket, for those of you who don't know. All right, final take on it. I know I already picked the game. I guess I'm going to roll with Auburn. Oh, man, I want to go Michigan State. Okay. I'm not even going to talk about it too much. I'll take Auburn. Let me know in the comment section who you rocking with. Gosh, man. I don't know. Auburn concerns me. They haven't looked great all postseason long outside of the end of the Michigan game. That was fantastic, but can they look like that for 40 minutes? I don't know. And I tell you this much. If Michigan State gets up by 7 or 8, they ain't going to blow it like Michigan did. They got that championship head coach. He's going to know what he's doing. Yeah, one of the things I could say is extremely late. Oh, yeah, I know I talked about potentially live streaming the Duke-Bama game. Obviously, that didn't happen. I just didn't feel the need to. I didn't think many people would care to watch that because you're too busy watching the game. Who cares to watch my live stream? Yeah, maybe in the future we'll do something like that. Let me know your thoughts down below. But